It just got very real. And while there's a ton of new reports surrounding Giannis Antetokounmpo, one new report surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers changes everything for the outlook of the Lakers offseason. And things have gotten real, folks, surrounding Giannis and LA. We're going to break down exactly what these new reports entail and discuss what it means going forward as things have gotten a little bit absurd. We also have some other updates surrounding the Lakers, a ton to go over today. It's going to be a very busy video, so make sure you stay tuned for it all. But before we get into it, if you're part of the high percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, about 90%. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. We're going to be starting live streams soon, so make sure you stay tuned for all those. Multiple videos a day for you all, especially as the NBA playoffs start to end here. We're going to be diving into a ton of different things because there's a ton of news coming out, and this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Ladies and gentlemen, the news is flying. Daily news. And guess what? The Lakers are in the thick of another superstar rumor, report, whatever you want to call it here, surrounding not Luka Doncic, almost misspoke, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And it's at a point now where Giannis Antetokounmpo is a very highly touted, the Shams report came out that the Bucks are willing to entertain offers, all these different things. And guess what report came out very recently? It is surrounding Giannis here. And this was, fairly breaking news. The Lakers might land Giannis with a package of Reaves, Dalton, Knecht, cap filler, and draft capital if Giannis pushes for LA and makes things uncomfortable for other suitors. It's possible, unlikely, but you can't rule it out per Sam Quinn's CBS. And obviously, the reason I think things have gotten real here is not necessarily because I think there's a very, very high chance that, the Lakers land Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's still a very, slim chance. And that's obviously because of the package that they're going to be giving. And slim chance meaning, it's not impossible. I think it's still, there's a very good chance that the Lakers, if you get traded, the Lakers could, sneak their way in there. But it is because the Lakers got Luka Doncic, right? And ever since that trade has happened, I cannot rule out Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers front office. It just can't be done. Every team has a slim chance at this point to land Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? There's no doubt about it. But what there is also, possible is if Giannis, and we think about the priorities from Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the priorities are winning a championship. That is what he wants. He wants to enter a team with another superstar. And when you start to hear about these reports from other reporters about how Giannis wants to, his checklist is winning a championship and playing with another superstar to grow with, I mean, there's no better team than the Los Angeles Lakers. You have the best young superstar, one of them in basketball, in Luka Doncic, and that's why you can't rule it out. And again, he says it's possible, it's unlikely. Any Giannis trade to any team is going to feel unlikely. And regarding the package, you have two good, you have a really good player in Austin Reaves. You have a young player in Dalton Knecht, and you have, a first round pick, swaps, all these different things. You empty the cupboard if you are the Lakers here. You offer them the exact package that they want. And the reason the Lakers are even considered here is because A, Pelinka pulled off the Luka Doncic trade, but B, their package isn't necessarily going to be the best, but it's also not going to be bad at all. It's still, in the top 5, top 10 of package you can get. And if Giannis says, hey, I want to go to the Lakers and play with Luka Doncic, then things could really happen. And that's what happens with these, with the Lakers. We've experienced it as fans. That's what happens with these teams is, especially with the Lakers, but I think there's a real world here where he does push himself into a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. You can see here, what's the Lakers' big play? It could involve up-and-coming sharpshooters, Austin Reaves, Dalton Knecht, versatile forward, Hachimura, and a clutch of future draft picks, headlined by at least one first-rounder. There's a twist, though. Reaves might opt out of his contract by 2026. The same year Hachimura hits free agency. That means both players will probably need to commit to a sign-and-trade deal, locking in for at least 3 years to make this trade irresistible for Milwaukee and secure Giannis's rights. And this is where the thing becomes interesting, and this is where this report becomes interesting. In order for this deal to work, you would have to, lock up these guys. Lock up Austin Reaves, of course, in a sign and trade with the Milwaukee Bucks, and make it so they're very happy with the deal. And do I think the Lakers, have the best offer? No. Do I think the Bucks could probably get more than Reaves? A very young player, but Reaves, Dalton Knecht in a first, and multiple first round pick, obviously in 2031, and then unprotected first. Yes, but I also think this is a unique situation where the Los Angeles Lakers specifically, the Lakers are going to, do good by Giannis Antetokounmpo, but also Giannis has an ability here to, maybe go out and force his way out of Milwaukee into a Lakers team. And you can see this here, what a trade would entail. This one has Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber. Obviously, to get the salary right, you had to throw in Dalton Knecht and picks. Does it make sense for the Bucks? It is definitely a long shot. But so was Luka Doncic. So are a lot of these trades. And it's just because of the fact, and again, the report specifically says can make things uncomfortable for other suitors. And we've seen it happen before. And I would not be surprised if it happens in some regard again. And a report came out, I believe this is by ESPN or NBA.com, ranking the top 30 packages and has Lakers at 9. That's cute. You don't think the Lakers have enough to trade for another superstar? You must be new here. NBA history is littered with lopsided Lakers trades. We just saw one 3 months ago. Can you name anyone they gave up to get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? An offer of Austin Reaves, Dalton, Knecht, cap filler, and some deep future draft assets shouldn't get a normal team at Antetokounmpo, but we can't rule out that it might get the Lakers at Antetokounmpo. If he wants to go there and is willing to make things uncomfortable enough for the other suitors, it's possible, even if it's unlikely. That is another report, kind of diving into, the same one. It's very interesting. This is, of course, same report from Sam Quinn. Now, if you dive into this same report from Sam Quinn, you're talking about the fact that, again here, if things start to get uncomfortable, that's going to be the key word. And you can see here, there's a real potential that a Giannis trade frenzy could essentially freeze out the NBA offseason if the process drags out. Teams want to make moves until they have certainty on where he's going. And it is true. Like, if they are fully decided and saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and trade Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Lakers have to offer everything, but it could cause a freeze in some of the other free agents that have a huge impact for the Lakers going forward. And of course, the domino effect that will come with that. And it all started with the report from Shams saying we all know this, right? He has not made any firm decisions, but the first time in his career, he's open-minded about playing elsewhere, whether the best fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere. And I think the best fit, like, you could argue Lakers are one of the best fits out of all these teams just because of what they were able to do, getting Luka Doncic. I mean, that's simply the best possible, Giannis and Luka, it's a great fit. But as you start to look at, and things have started to leak regarding, from Mark Stein, all these guys, regarding, Giannis's most preferred destinations, I guess, but also things that come with the team. We've heard from Shams himself as well. Hey, Shams, all these different guys, all these different reporters. Shout out to Woj, retired reporter, but they're at a point now where Giannis wants, again, to win and to play with another star. I mean, Luka is that other star, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need to bring up his box score for you to know how dominant he is, but he is one of the best players of all time, and he's dominant, and they're going to get a haul. Now, some of the other teams involved, the Spurs have the second-round pick. That's going to do them, a ton of good if they want to get Giannis, like the second-round pick, the second overall pick, the second overall pick, the 14th pick, Stephon Castle. You can obviously, with that package, pair him with, Wemby, which is a great duo, Giannis and Wemby. But at the same time, if he chooses to go somewhere else, and he has a final, like, he obviously doesn't have the final say. I don't believe there's no trade clause in his deal, in his contract. But, like, I could see a world where he pushes himself elsewhere. The Rockets, a fantastic package. There's a really, very important team to keep their eye out on. But there's also going to be teams going for and vying for Kevin Durant, all these different things. And if the Lakers are able to land Giannis Antetokounmpo with a package like this, we got to give Rob Pelinka a statue. You already can, probably, because of the Luka Doncic trade. But it's the Doncic trade in general that has made things like this and these reports even possible. And it's gotten a little bit more real, folks, surrounding Giannis. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Things are really starting to pick up, not necessarily regarding Giannis only, but centers, other different players. The Lakers are going to be very busy. We're going to keep you up to date with every single piece of Lakers news. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below. Do you think this is likely?